Back in 2021, when Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach released, it was divisive for many, many reasons, but among those reasons were the characters and their designs. As opposed to the past games in the franchise, they were very lively and had a ton of personality. The Glamrock animatronics are some of the most clean and appealing designs in the franchise. They are really well done designs, but they never really appealed to me specifically, and I wasn't really sure why. A lot of people think that they're not really scary enough, but making them gross and dingy wouldn't really fit the clean aesthetic of Security Breach. While I do think that the animatronics in the game are a bit too clean and perfectly proportioned, that isn't really their entire issue. However, they will be given slightly less proportionate and cartoony proportions when needed. This includes more sunken-in eyes and more exposed robotic joints. I figured out that the true main problem I had with them that never made me connect with them as character designs is that they're just too busy. They have many clashing patterns and colors that don't really add anything or say anything about their characters. Because of this, I tried to narrow each one of them down to one defining pattern or shape that defines each character. I agree that it wouldn't make sense for them to be ultra-realistic, scary monsters, but with a few tweaks to their personalities and designs, I feel that they could be made into designs that would strike a better balance between realism, personality, and that classic charm that the first few games had. I started off this project by redesigning Roxy Wolf. While being much better in Ruin, she is by far my least favorite design and personality in the game. Instead of moving around in a threatening manner, she moves around like a cartoony villain. A big part of this is her expressive, angry eyes. I feel like this just makes her look silly more than anything. When redesigning her, I thought I would make her feel more like a feral animal with wide open, insane eyes. Here's what I came up with. I started off by giving all of the animatronics cloth bodies instead of plastic ones. While not necessary to their designs, it's just a personal preference I had that adds more imperfections and wrinkles. I made her defining pattern the tiger stripes that you see on her leg and arm warmers. I then removed the green highlights from her because it clashed with the red, purple, and yellow that were already on her. However, I was debating on keeping the highlight, but just changing it to yellow. I then removed the face paint and eyebrows from her face to put more emphasis on her eyes, which should be her defining aspect, I feel. I also made her pupils look like adjusting camera lenses to give her white pinprick eyes and to further emphasize her eye theme. I then made her shorts slightly longer because, yes, the Glamrock aesthetic is supposed to be glamorous and eye-catching. I feel like Roxy wearing what are basically booty shorts to be a little odd. Overall, I am proud of this design. It turns one of my least favorite characters into a design I do really enjoy. I promise the other characters won't take as long. I've much less to say about the rest. Next off, I redesigned my favorite Glamrock designs, Chica. I really liked her focus color scheme with the obvious jazzercise theme. She also has my favorite movement and personality. She moves and acts in a robotic, glitchy way while still having, her own personality, even if her obsession with food doesn't make any sense because robot. Here's my redesign. Other than the fabric and altered proportions, I really only simplified her patterns down to only having a triangle theme. I never really liked how one of her leg warmers had Roxy's defining tiger striped pattern. It just kind of served to making them both less unique. After that, I gave her a hatch on her chest to dispose of food, since her literally eating the food seemed a bit weird and unrealistic. But after that, I was basically done. I really like this design as well. It's about all I have to say. After her, I redesigned Monty. I altered him the least proportion-wise, but he had two major issues that I just had to change. First off, I had the lightning bolt on his snout. I get all the Glamrocks have face paint, but one of the most iconic traits of Freddy is the lightning bolt on his chest. It just doesn't fit Monty at all, and it just, again, makes them both less unique. Especially when it's right next to a bright red mohawk and yellow star glasses. That's just too much. My second issue with him was the purple feet. Why are they purple? What are they supposed to be? Anyways, here's my redesign. I gave him darker pants for better contrast. I removed the weird spikes on his chest, so they just didn't add anything. And if you're wondering why I didn't change his glasses to fit his shape language, well, they aren't his glasses anyway. So it makes sense for them not to fit him. Ain't that smart? Lastly, I redesigned Freddy. Despite not having many changes, he was definitely the hardest one to design, and it's all because of these. What are they? You might think that they're leg warmers because both Chica and Roxy had leg warmers, but if you look at the wall art like in-game, they almost look like armor. But that doesn't make sense for a cartoon bear. Not to mention that leg warmers are usually feminine. It perplexed me until someone mentioned that Freddy's attraction in the game is a space-themed laser tag arena. So it is armor. It's just space-themed armor because he's space. After that, his design was pretty simple. I kept the leg warmers the same, changed his proportions to be a bit less buff-looking to differentiate him from Monty, made him a bit less cutesy while still keeping in mind his friendly nature, and I put a red outline on his body paint to make it less inconsistent overall. Overall, I'm very proud of these redesigns. While I'm personally just not a big fan of the Glamrocks to begin with, I feel like I kept what people do love about these characters while adding a slight amount of uncanniness to them that would make them fit better within a horror game. I did also redesign Mixis, however you pronounce that, which is one of my least favorite designs of the franchise. But unlike these, I changed him a lot. He could probably be the star of his own video. If y'all want to see that, you could support this video in any way by liking or commenting. You know, if this video does well, there could always be a part 2. I have plenty of other characters I want to redesign, but, you know, thank you for watching, and yeah, bye-bye. Hope you liked it.